All right, thank you for that, Thomas. Well, days after two tornadoes tore through parts of the Mid-Ohio Valley, officials in Pleasants County say that they're working to assess the damage and figure out where the most help is needed. Our Chase Campbell has more.
The Family Life Center at the First Baptist Church in St. Mary's has become something of a command center for officials, first responders, and community members trying to pick up the pieces after two tornadoes tore through Pleasants County earlier this week. Pastor Adam Myers and various volunteers have spent the days since the tornadoes handing out water, cleaning supplies, and food.
I'd say over the last 2 days, we've probably had, 20 plus families that have come for water. And, we've just been checking in with them, seeing what kind of needs they have.
In addition to handing out supplies, Myers says they're beginning the process of evaluating the wider conditions throughout the county in coordination with the Pleasants County Sheriff's Office.
Now, a couple days after the storm's over, we're at this part now where we're trying to just assess where everybody is, because there's still people that can't let us know what their needs are. So I think that's the phase that we're in right now.
According to Sergeant Kirby Cease of the Sheriff's Office, Sheriff's deputies, St. Mary's Police Department officers, and West Virginia State Police are traveling door to door around the county to assess the extent of the damage and identify what people's needs are. At this point, he says their priority is connecting people with cleanup assistance and any essential supplies they need.
We got some crews coming in to assist with cleanup. They're not going to remove the stuff from the yard, but essentially they're going to pile it up to make it easier for the elderly. Back here to the Family Life Center so we can get those resources out.
Cease estimates it will take officials some time to get a full sense of the extent of the damage and people's needs.
I would say a couple days, at least, for some people that need power before they can get it back.
Pleasants County Director of Emergency Services Steve Knight said about 500 people were still without power as of Friday morning, down from an initial 2,000. Knight said the National Guard was expected to help clear the secondary roads that remain obstructed. As officials work to assess the community's needs, Cease encourages anyone who wishes to help to donate non-perishable food items and cleaning supplies or offer their time as a volunteer at the Family Life Center. In St. Mary's, Chase Campbell, WTAP News.